Imagine this. You're in the middle of a chaotic workday. Notifications are flying in. People are demanding your time. Your body feels tight. Your mind is racing. And in the background, there's this rising feeling of irritation or stress, a kind of ghost in your system. It's not visible, but it's real, and it's robbing you of your energy, your clarity, your power. Now picture the opposite. In that same storm, you're still not numb, not passive, but deeply settled, like the ocean floor, undisturbed no matter how much the waves above crash. What if you could live like that, govern your energy like that? What would change? Chapter 60 of the Tao Te Ching. Governing a large nation is like cooking little fish. When the world is ruled by the way, the ghosts are powerless. It is not that the ghosts are powerless. Their spirits do not harm the people. Not only do the spirits not harm the people, sages do not harm the people either. Because the two do not harm each other, their virtues ultimately combine. Lao Tzu gives us a poetic clue in chapter 60. Governing a large nation is like cooking small fish. In other words, don't overdo it. Don't poke, prod, stir too much. Let things settle. When you do, even the ghosts lose their power, the chaos loses its grip. And what emerges instead is a rare harmony between you and life, between seen and unseen forces, between effort and ease. In today's lesson, we're exploring how the Tao teaches us to govern our inner world, our thoughts, emotions, energies, with the same gentle but powerful attention a sage would use to rule a nation. You'll learn why over-controlling breaks your peace, how inner stillness neutralizes outer harm, and how to use 3 simple practices to keep your spirit calm, clear, and strong. The problem with overgoverning. Let's begin with the metaphor. Lao Tzu says governing a nation is like cooking small fish. If you've ever cooked a delicate fish, you know this is true. Too much flipping or stirring, it falls apart, it sticks to the pan. The beauty of it is destroyed by over-effort. The same thing happens when we try to micromanage our life, our thoughts, our emotions, and the people around us. We poke too much, we force, we stir constantly, hoping it will speed things up or improve the outcome. But all that effort creates tension, resistance, fragmentation. This is why many people feel exhausted even when nothing is visibly wrong. They're over-controlling internally. They're cooking their life like it's a steak, when it's actually a delicate fish. And just like that fish, your nervous system, your breath, your thoughts, they all respond best when given space, calm, non-interference. That's the paradox. The less you interfere, the more power you actually have. Not control power, but alignment power, the kind that turns chaos into order without force. Ghosts, energy, and invisible influence. Lao Tzu goes on to say, when the world is ruled by the way, the ghosts are powerless. What does he mean by ghosts? We can interpret this metaphorically. Ghosts can be past regrets, lingering emotional wounds, mental habits that haunt us, energetic tensions we don't fully understand. When you're not aligned with the Tao, those ghosts have power. They possess your attention. They stir your reactions. They cause you to spiral, emotionally, mentally, even physically. But when you align with the way, when you return to calm presence, those ghosts lose their grip. Not because you banish them with force, but because you stop feeding them. Think about it. A fire can't burn without oxygen. Your anxious thoughts can't escalate if you don't keep feeding them with more thoughts. Your inner critic loses volume when you don't argue with it. The Tao shows us that real power is in not reacting and neutralizing disturbance through inner stillness. I once worked with a fighter who had all the talent in the world, but before every competition he would spiral as his nerves would take over. He'd lose sleep, overtrain, overthink, and by the time he stepped into the ring, he was already depleted. No amount of skill could fix that. So we stopped trying to fix it. Instead, we brought in meditative arts, breath work, standing meditation, Taoist philosophy. He learned how to govern his nervous system the way a sage governs a nation, not with force, but with non-interference. He let the ghosts rise, but didn't react. He let the fear come, but didn't fight it. Slowly, he reclaimed calm, and by the time his next fight came, he was different. His walkout was still, his breath slow, his presence heavy like a mountain, and he won, not just the fight, but the battle with himself. This is the power of governing with the Tao. The way of non-harm. Lao Tzu finishes the chapter. Sages do not harm the people. Because the two do not harm each other, their virtues ultimately combine. In a modern context, this means when we're aligned, we don't harm ourselves. We don't harm our health with overwork. We don't harm our minds with overthinking. We don't harm our relationships with needless conflict. And because we don't harm ourselves, the world becomes less harmful to us. You attract what you embody. You reflect what you radiate. So the more you govern yourself gently, the more the world responds in kind. Peace is contagious. 3 practices to govern your inner state. Let's make this practical. Practice. 1. The pan test. Next time you feel tense or scattered, ask yourself, am I overcooking the fish? Are you interfering too much? Are you micromanaging your mind or emotions? If so, stop stirring. Step back. Let the energy settle. Even 1 minute of non-doing can reset your system. Practice 2. Ghost recognition. Identify one ghost, a lingering thought or emotion that tends to hijack you. Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's the voice of self-doubt. Instead of banishing it, observe it, bow to it, say, I see you, and then return to the breath. Ghosts don't need to be fought, just seen and unfed. Practice 3. Breath governance ritual. Every morning or before a challenge, do this. 3 physiological sighs. Inhale, inhale again, slow exhale. 2 minutes of slow box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Stand quietly, eyes soft, spine tall. Say silently, calm body, clear mind, open spirit. This 5-minute ritual resets your inner government. Lead your life like a sage. The world will always have ghosts. Your mind will always generate thoughts. Life will always be more like the ocean than the desert, moving, churning, shifting. But you can be the calm below the surface. You can lead your life with presence instead of pressure. You can govern your mind, your breath, and your choices like a sage rules a nation, with gentle power, with steady rhythm, with unwavering alignment to the Tao. And when you live that way, your virtue combines with the world's. You stop creating harm and you start creating harmony. For the next 7 days, before reacting to anything, a person, a thought, a situation, pause. Take 1 breath. Ask, am I governing wisely or just reacting? Then proceed with the same care you'd use to cook a delicate fish, because your inner world is just as precious. If this lesson spoke to you and you want to build these calm, powerful states into your daily life, explore our 2-week trial inside the Yielding Warrior. You'll learn how to create a meditative practice that transforms your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Through breathwork, movement, and the ancient wisdom of the Tao, let your calm become your power. Let your presence become your practice. See you on the path.